It's been real hard. It's been...
Dana Yeo still struggles to talk about the brutal murder of her big sister, a crime that has gone unsolved for 17 long years.
The hardest part is not having closure. Knowing that someone's living their everyday life that could have done this.
In 1996, Kimberly Yeo was outgoing and energetic. The 20-year-old, known as Kimmy, lived with her family in Edders and worked at a nearby call center. In May of that year, 2 fishermen discovered her body in the Susquehanna River in Middle Paxton Township. She had been missing for more than a week.
Her position in the body was not consistent with accidental death.
I didn't realize.
Coroner Graham Hetrick remembers that night in vivid detail.
This is a very bad person that did this. Very sick person.
Kimmy had been severely beaten and strangled before she was put in the river. She was discovered with her hands bound behind her back, nude except for white athletic socks.
I was the on-call assistant district attorney at the time.
District Attorney Ed Marsico says it was a terrifying crime that still stands out to this day.
Those types of things we just don't see in a normal case. It's more out of a movie than out of a central Pennsylvania homicide.
Adding to the mystery, Kimmy's car was found 22 miles away at a truck stop on Route 39. Police focused their investigation on truck drivers passing through the area, but never found a solid lead. Why was the car there? Why might Kimmy have been there? Police still can't say for sure.
The truck stop had a history of being a high crime area.
The way Kimberly Yeo was murdered was so unusual, investigators automatically wondered, had her killer done this before? And now 17 years later, they wonder, did he do it again?
We wondered, was this someone that's a serial killer? Was this someone that is randomly doing these types of crimes in different locations?
If people know about this, they should tell us, because this is somebody who doesn't deserve to be out and free.
Police plan to resubmit evidence samples in the case for DNA analysis, hoping for new leads.
The technology that we had in the 90s compared to what we have nowadays is night and day. It's made leaps and bounds.
I'm just glad that...
It's welcome news to Kimmy's friends and family, who have always held on to hope that someday someone would pay.
I always have. I've never given up. Kim would never have given up if it was one of us. It does make me hopeful, and I'm glad that they're going to do that. She needs to rest in peace.
Allie Lanyon, ABC 27.
She was really happy.
Sanad Sabich remembers his wife Rosea with a smile.
She was really pretty.
The couple started their family in war-torn Bosnia. Sanad was in the army and says their lives were in constant danger. In 1996, they moved to the United States in search of safety.
What makes me really mad, because we survived over there, and that we had a chance to be killed 1,000 times.
But in 2010, Rosea ultimately did meet a violent end. The 39-year-old mother was shot on the front porch of the family's home in Swadera Township. It was 6:50 on a peaceful summer morning in a supposedly peaceful place.
To lose a life on that way, it's really, it's something that I cannot believe it that can happen.
Rosea was shot twice in the back and died at the hospital. Investigators believe whoever attacked her fired 5 or 6 times. Nothing appeared to be missing, and neighbors didn't see anyone leaving the area.
My personal opinion is she was targeted. Why? I don't know. We haven't been able to uncover anything that would indicate she was involved in any type of, dangerous behavior or anything like that.
Detective Chris Everett has investigated the case since the beginning.
But there are times I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm thinking to myself, what did I miss? Because I'm obviously missing something.
At the time of the murder, Rosea's 2 daughters were sleeping inside the house. Sanad was already at work. His only theory is that his wife interrupted a burglar in the garage. But investigators are firm with their theory that for whatever reason, someone wanted Rosea Sabich gone. Their only potential lead in the case came nearly 2 months after the killing. A man came to Sanad's workplace at Harrisburg International Airport and asked to speak with him. But by the time Sanad arrived, the man with an Eastern European accent was gone. Did he have answers about the mysterious murder?
It's somebody we'd like to speak to if we can ever figure out who it is,
In the meantime, Sanad says he will continue to live in this house. He believes here his wife's killer is never far away. He says he's willing to risk his life to find out who took his wife's.
Every day, I'm waiting for that person. Every day. You can hide something for some time, but not always. Whoever did this will make mistake.
Did they disappear on purpose?
Perry County Coroner Mike Shalonis keeps a sketch of an unidentified young woman hanging on the wall of his office.
Just a reminder that, somebody's out there. Loved one's missing.
A reminder to never forget about the mysterious girl. It was the summer of '79 when a man collecting rocks along the Juniata River in Perry County made the grisly discovery. Her skeletal remains lying on the shore not far from Route 322 in Watts Township.
It's just, a mystery as to how she got here. She could have came from anywhere.
Investigators believe she had been there for a few months, but they were optimistic. Although her body was badly decomposed, her clothing, shoes, and several pieces of turquoise jewelry were intact, but no one ever recognized it. She was buried. Years and years went by. It wasn't until 2008 that her body was exhumed so investigators could collect a sample of her DNA. It has since been placed in several national databases with no luck.
We've eliminated probably 50 to 60 missing females from that time period, and especially the ones that were missing from Pennsylvania. They're not really a match with her.
Lead investigator Trooper Donald Tuning admits there are few certainties in this case. He does know the girl with the turquoise jewelry was white, blonde, probably between 15 and 30, 5'2" to 5'9". And he believes this jewelry, some of it handmade, came from the Southwest.
Indian jewelry was very popular at the time. And she had on jewelry that's been identified from the New Mexico, Arizona region.
Was she from that region as well? And what's more, how was she killed? There was no obvious sign of trauma. Despite the years and the mountain of unanswered questions, these investigators say their mission remains the same. Figure out who the girl with the turquoise jewelry was and send her home to finally rest in peace.
We're at a point where we just need to identify her so we can get her back to her family, number one, and number two, move forward with the investigation.
As long as I'm coroner, she'll be on the wall, and probably whoever takes over for me is going to have her somewhere.
In Perry County, Allie Lanyon, ABC 27.
Hello, sir. How you doing? Detective King with Stilton Police.
Investigators recently fanned out on Lincoln Street in Stilton, hoping for a break in a horrifying cold case, hoping someone could finally tell them something to help them catch a killer.
Someone out there knows who killed Mrs. Lawson. Someone knows that.
It was October of 2006 when 79-year-old Beulah Lawson was found strangled inside her detached garage in the middle of the night. Her body, car, and home set on fire. Investigators made the discovery sometime after 4 a.m.
I believe that the fire was started to attempt to conceal and destroy evidence at the crime scene.
That crime scene was littered with matches and unlit pink kerosene. A couch had been pushed up against the front door, but nothing appeared to be missing. Her purse was found untouched in the living room.
It just was senseless. There's not a lot of words to describe it. It makes you feel bad as a person.
Who would want to kill this outspoken elderly woman of modest means? And why? Investigators developed several strong theories, but no proof. One of those theories, Beulah Lawson was in the process of selling her car. Was she showing it to someone when she was killed?
It seemed an unusual time that someone would come over to go vehicle shopping with him.
And consider this. Beulah's niece tells ABC 27 that Beulah called her sister around 9 o'clock the night before the murder and seemed agitated. Beulah apparently said she was in her pajamas and planned to go to bed. So why did she get dressed again in the middle of the night? And if not the car, then what would bring her to the garage at such an hour? Was it a burglary gone bad? Or perhaps, was it personal?
I don't think it was a random act. I think somebody that knew her, and I think somebody else out there knows what happened other than the person that did it.
The questions of who and why haunt Beulah Lawson's children to this day. They have moved out of the area but shared their thoughts with these video messages.
I had always envisioned my mother dying, I suppose, with us, passing away quietly. Never in my wildest dreams or nightmares did I expect this to happen.
It's not something that ever goes away. We were left with so many unanswered questions about this senseless crime.
No one wants this to happen to their mother, and it was a very violent act, an unnecessary act to happen to her.
I didn't know the lady.
The crime haunts this neighborhood as well. One woman admits she installed this security system shortly after the killing and still arms it to this day, likely until the day Beulah Lawson's murderer is finally found. In Steelton, Allie Lanyon, ABC 27.